How to attract any woman, even if she isn't interested. Stoicism, modern stoic. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. So Eden Arbez. Have you ever found yourself in front of a woman, and deep down, you already knew she wasn't interested? You felt yourself pull back, your voice quieter, your energy shrinking, because you believed the outcome was already sealed. But here's something most men don't understand. Women don't often know what they want until they feel it, not through what they see or hear, but through the way a man makes them feel. And that's where the power lies. We've all been taught that attraction is immediate, that if she doesn't show interest from the start, then it's a lost cause. That rejection means it's game over. But that isn't how the world works. Attraction isn't a sudden burst, it's a subtle, slow shift. And often, that shift begins once you stop trying to impress her. Have you ever walked away thinking, was I not good enough? Not tall enough, rich enough, or her type? You missed the point. The real question is, did you show up as the kind of man she's never met before? Calm, grounded, confident in his own value. That man doesn't seek approval, doesn't chase, and doesn't put on a performance. He enters the room already whole, already complete. He listens more than he speaks. And he isn't trying to be liked. He simply is. And that's the man who causes a shift in the way a woman perceives him, not because he begged for her attention, but because he didn't need it. He was centered and whole, and that energy can't be ignored. In a world where most men crumble at the slightest hint of disinterest, you're about to discover how to stay steady. This is not about tricks or pick-up lines. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about becoming the kind of man who shifts the energy of the room with nothing more than his presence. By the end of this video, you will understand how to approach any woman, not by proving yourself to her, but by proving to yourself that you no longer chase after what doesn't serve you. Let's dive in. 1. Flirt boldly, then pull back. Flirting boldly, then pulling back is an art that every man must master if he wants to capture the attention of any woman, regardless of how indifferent or uninterested she may seem. Most men approach flirting as though they are trying to win a prize, desperately trying to prove themselves. They overload her with words, excessive compliments, and unneeded praise, all in an attempt to gain her approval. But here's the truth. Flirting isn't about proving anything. It's not about chasing after her affection. Flirting is about creating tension and then stepping away, leaving that tension unresolved. It's about stirring emotions in her that she can't quite explain. Real flirting is about creating intrigue, not desperation. It dares, it teases, and then it disappears. This is where most men go wrong. They try to lock her down with their words, their compliments, their endless attention. But women, just like all humans, are drawn to what is scarce, what is hard to attain. This is why the most effective flirtation is the one that is bold, yet leaves room for mystery. When you flirt with confidence, let her know you're interested, but never worship her. Don't beg for her attention. Don't bombard her with excessive praise. No man, no matter how charming, has the power to make a woman fall for him through sheer validation. There's nothing more unattractive than desperation. Instead, look her in the eyes with quiet assurance, smile, and say something bold. A confident, direct approach is what separates the men who merely chase from the men who command attention. But here's where the magic happens. After that brief interaction, you pull back. You don't linger. You don't stay glued to her side, hoping for some kind of validation. You let go. You let her come to you. Attention without absence is nothing more than noise. But attention that vanishes, that becomes something she'll remember, something she'll wonder about. It's the type of attention that creates a lasting impression. You see, when you shift your focus away from her, without drama, without over-explaining, you trigger a powerful reaction in her mind, uncertainty. And uncertainty is one of the most powerful psychological tools in human attraction. When you make your attention disappear, she's left wondering, What just happened? Why did he leave? That brief but significant moment of uncertainty is the spark that starts attraction. That's when she begins to feel something for you, something that she can't immediately understand. Why? Because attraction is rooted in mystery, in the unknown. When she's not sure what to make of you, she will be drawn to you even more. You're not the man who is easy to figure out. You're the man who's always a little out of reach, and that is what makes you magnetic. The one who pulls back is the one who owns the moment. It's the man who's not afraid to walk away because he knows his worth. As the Stoics wisely said, he who is brave is free. A man who doesn't chase, who can maintain his calm and poise, is the man who has true power. He is the one who understands that his value doesn't come from someone else's validation. He creates value by simply being himself, by knowing that he doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. When you pull back, you set the stage for her to come after you. She will wonder if she missed something, if she should have paid more attention. This is not about playing games or manipulating emotions. This is about having the emotional discipline and the self-assurance to recognize that your attention is valuable. You don't need to give it away freely. You don't need to chase her or beg for her attention. You don't need to convince her to like you. The best way to attract any woman, even the ones who seem completely uninterested, is to remain confident in your own worth and to let her come to you. And when you let go of the need for validation, you start to see the world differently. You begin to see women not as prizes to be won, but as people to be understood. The best way to attract someone is not to chase them, but to make them chase you. The man who walks away with confidence is the one who leaves the lasting impression. It's the man who dares to flirt boldly, then pulls back with authority, knowing that his worth does not depend on anyone else. This is the power of self-sufficiency, the power of not being afraid to walk away when the time is right. Remember the words of the famous Stoic philosopher Seneca. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. The moment you stop wasting time chasing approval, you start living in your own power. Don't wait for her approval. Make her earn it. Flirt with purpose. Flirt with confidence. Flirt like a man who knows his worth. You have the power. Own it. The man who steps away with grace and confidence is the one who owns the room, who owns the moment, and who commands attraction. Take control of your life. Take control of your interactions, and become the man every woman finds irresistible. Don't chase. Lead. And when you lead, they will follow. Comment to remember. I am the man who commands attention. Let's start living with the confidence to pull back and let them come to you. 2. Stop chasing her. You are the prize. Stop chasing her. You are the prize. This is the harsh reality. Most men enter conversations with women already defeated before a single word is spoken. The thoughts in their minds are clear, even if unspoken. I hope she likes me. I hope I don't mess up. I hope I'm good enough. That mindset, that undercurrent of desperation, is the exact reason she loses interest almost immediately. The truth is simple. When you approach a woman like she's better than you, she will believe it. She'll feel that you're not worthy of her time, and that's when she starts to pull away. It's not that she's being cruel. It's just that neediness repels, and nothing is less attractive than weakness. For most of your life, you've been told the opposite. Society, movies, music, and social media all whisper the same lie. Women are the prize. Your job is to impress them, to convince them, to prove you're worthy. They tell you that winning her over is the key to happiness. But that's not the truth. You are the prize, not out of arrogance, but because you understand your worth. You know what you bring to the table. You know your values, your strengths, and what you stand for. When you walk into any situation with that mindset, you move differently. You speak with certainty, not hesitation. You don't seek permission to lead. You don't shrink yourself in hopes of being liked. Instead, you stand tall, calm, and unwavering in who you are. That energy, true confidence, is magnetic. Even when a woman doesn't verbally acknowledge it, she feels it. Why? Because real confidence doesn't need to perform. It doesn't crave attention or validation. It doesn't have to shout to be heard. It simply is. When you understand this, everything changes. Women notice the man who has no need to prove himself. The man who knows his worth doesn't have to chase approval. The man who walks through life grounded in self-respect and understanding that his value is intrinsic is the man who commands respect. So, how do you make her respect you? Simple. Stop proving yourself. Start holding yourself. The need to act alpha to dominate the room is unnecessary. The key is to stop handing over your worth to her attention. She is not the judge of your value. You are not there to beg for her approval. Instead, both of you are just two individuals trying to figure out whether your lives fit together. If they do, great. If not, move on. You have something to offer, and you're not going to settle for someone who doesn't recognize it. Remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is a reminder that your strength comes from within. When you rely on your internal power and value, your actions reflect it naturally, and that is what draws respect. Do not seek her validation. Instead, validate yourself. And when you do that, you'll find that women will start to respect you for the very reason they initially walked away, because you are no longer chasing them. You must start believing in your worth. Stop pretending you're less than you are to fit in or win someone over. When you stop chasing, when you stop playing games, you will find that women are drawn to the authenticity and confidence you exude. Your strength is your value, hold it high, and watch everything else follow. What do you think? Have you ever felt the power of walking into a room with this mindset? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 3. Don't worship her beauty. Observe her behavior. Don't fall into the trap of worshipping her beauty. Instead, observe her behavior. Too many men lose their power the moment they encounter a beautiful woman, not because she takes it from them, but because they hand it over willingly. They see her face, her body, her presence, and they forget what truly matters. They stop evaluating and instead start performing, trying to impress and gain her approval. But let's be clear, beauty is not a rare commodity. What sets people apart, what holds true value, is character. A man who has depth knows that. He understands that beauty fades, but behavior reveals everything. This is the core of attraction. It's not about being swayed by appearances. The man who can see beyond the surface and observe how a woman behaves in various situations is the one who truly holds the power. So instead of being mesmerized by her looks, start watching how she moves through the world. How does she treat people she doesn't need? Is she kind to the waiter or dismissive? How does she handle moments of silence when she's not the center of attention? How does she respond when others are in the spotlight? These details matter because they reveal the true nature of her character. The man who watches before engaging is the man who remains in control. He isn't driven by an impulse to impress. He doesn't rush to be the one she notices. Instead, he makes a choice from a place of awareness and understanding. Women are used to being admired, to receiving instant attention and adoration. They expect praise. They expect men to pursue them. But when you don't follow that script, when you don't fall into their rhythm, they notice. They feel something different, even if they can't quite place it. It's the mystery, the unpredictability. But this isn't a trick. It's not a tactic. It's the natural consequence of a man who values himself enough to take a step back and observe before he acts. Here's a real-life example. Imagine you walk into a lounge and there's a stunning woman at the bar. Every other guy in the room is staring at her, smiling, waiting for their moment to approach her. But you don't rush. You sit, you watch, you notice how she treats the bartender. Is she polite, dismissive, or perhaps entitled? You listen to her conversation. Does she speak only of herself, or does she share something with depth? You're not observing to judge her. You're observing to understand, and from this place of awareness, you make your decision. Understand this. Your ability to resist the urge to perform, your choice to observe before acting, is what makes you stand out. It is that self-control and depth of character that ultimately attracts women. As the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Similarly, the best way to attract the woman you desire is not to chase after her or idolize her beauty, but to remain grounded, aware, and in control of yourself. When you stop giving away your power and start observing her behavior, you gain a deeper understanding of who she really is. And that's the foundation of true attraction. Now, I challenge you. Next time you find yourself in the presence of a woman you're interested in, resist the temptation to worship her beauty. Instead, observe her. Watch how she treats others, how she carries herself, and how she interacts with the world. Pay attention to the details. This is where you will find the real connection, the one that lasts. Share your thoughts on this approach in the comments. Let's get a discussion going about how men can stop performing and start truly observing. Comment to remember: I value character over beauty and observe before I act. This mindset will shift your approach to attraction and give you the power you've been seeking. 4. Approach without needing her to like you. Here's a paradox that most men never hear, one that, if understood, could change everything about how you approach relationships with women. The more you desperately need a woman to like you, the more likely she is to be repelled. Not because you're not good enough, but because neediness radiates insecurity. When you're needy, you're telling her without words that you've placed her above you. You've put her on a pedestal, and in doing so, you've already stepped off your own. A man who elevates a woman in such a way has lost his own sense of self-worth. That's the first misstep most men make before they even get close to her. They approach with an agenda, not to connect, but to get something. They seek approval, attention, or validation. But women can feel that energy, even when it's subtle. It's not always something she can pinpoint consciously, but her instincts are sharp enough to detect it. You've been there before. The tension in your chest, that weight of pressure to say the perfect thing, to keep the conversation alive, that constant fear of silence. You're not in the moment. You're in your head, calculating, overthinking every move. Why is that? Because deep down, you've already tied your self-worth to her response. You're playing the game to win her approval. That's the trap. The outcome is what matters to you the most. But here's the reality you need to understand. It's not about what you say. It's about why you're saying it. When you enter an interaction hoping to be liked, you hand over your emotional stability to a complete stranger. Every word you speak, every pause you hesitate on, and every gesture you make becomes a performance aimed at securing her validation. You're not showing up as your true self. You're showing up as a version of yourself that you hope will be accepted. However, the moment you stop needing anything in return, that's when real power emerges. Real power comes from the place where you approach a woman, not because you're empty and seeking to be filled, but because you are already full. You approach her because you are curious, not desperate. You're not looking for approval, attention, or validation from her. Instead, you offer your full presence in the moment. That's the shift. The most attractive men don't chase outcomes. They don't bend, mold, or twist themselves into someone they think a woman will like. They show up exactly as they are, authentically unfiltered, and allow the interaction to unfold naturally. If she connects with them, great. If she doesn't, that's fine too. It doesn't affect their sense of self-worth because their confidence isn't tied to the outcome of a single interaction. Their self-respect remains intact no matter what. And this is the key. This is where most men miss the mark. Attraction doesn't happen because you manipulate her feelings or try to control how she sees you. Attraction happens when you've cultivated a sense of self-worth so strong that you don't need to seek it from anyone else. The truly confident men walk through life knowing that they are enough. They don't try to impress. They are simply themselves. They are magnetic, not because they're chasing her, but because they are grounded in their own worth. They do not need to mold themselves into something they think she will like, because they know that true attraction is about showing up as who you truly are. This shift changes everything. When you stop seeking approval and validation, women will naturally be drawn to you because you're no longer broadcasting desperation or insecurity. The most magnetic men are those who are the least concerned with being liked because their value is inherent and not contingent on external validation. They show up, and the world around them shifts because they've learned one of life's most powerful truths. The less you care about needing her approval, the more she will naturally be drawn to you. It's the paradox of power and attraction. The more you stop chasing, the more you start attracting. And the more you embrace your true self, the more you will naturally command respect and attention. This isn't just a technique, it's a way of being. Don't chase her, be yourself, and in doing so, you will attract the very things you desire. Your self-worth should never swing with the wind of another's opinion. Hold your ground, stand tall. When you do this, you'll find that attraction doesn't come from trying to win her over. It comes from simply showing up as a man who already knows his value. And that's when you'll truly begin to attract the woman you desire, regardless of whether she's initially interested or not. 5. Challenge her. Don't compliment her. Most men make the mistake of thinking that compliments are the way to win a woman's attention. They tell her she's beautiful, amazing, or stunning, often repeating the same empty words every other man has already used. They believe that flattery earns them favor, that praise equals progress. But here's the brutal truth. It doesn't. Compliments don't make you stand out. They make you blend in with every other man she meets. In fact, too many compliments do the opposite of what you intend. They create a sense of uncertainty, a feeling that you're trying to buy her attention, which instantly makes you appear needy. Women are attuned to this energy. They can sense when a man is giving in hopes of getting something in return. And this is exactly what kills attraction. The moment your every word becomes a validation, you're not leading, you're following. You're not connecting, you're hoping. And hoping isn't masculine. Hope is the softest, most invisible form of desire. It's uncertain and weak. The key here is to challenge her. Don't validate her every move or try to win her over with kind words that mean nothing. Instead, show her a man who is strong, who has his own life, and who doesn't seek approval. This is the essence of modern Stoicism, where you live for your own values and not for others' validation. The Stoic man doesn't base his worth on external admiration. His worth is rooted within. When you show confidence in who you are, when you stand firm in your purpose without needing constant reassurance, you become more attractive. You exude a silent strength that commands respect. This is the energy that pulls women in. The energy of a man who is so self-assured that he doesn't need to seek validation. He challenges her not by demanding her attention, but by living his life with such clarity and confidence that she is drawn to him without him lifting a finger. But remember, this is not about being arrogant or dismissive. It's about maintaining your integrity and self-respect. When you challenge her, you're not looking to impress or manipulate. You're simply showing her that your life is rich and meaningful, with or without her. You are a man of principle, a man who is grounded in his own identity. This approach will make her wonder, what does he have that others don't? And that curiosity will work in your favor. In today's world, where men often become fixated on instant validation from women, it's essential to remember that true attraction comes from not needing validation at all. Women are drawn to men who embody stoic strength, those who aren't swayed by praise or desperate for approval. If you want to truly connect with a woman, you must first connect with yourself. Know who you are, what you stand for, and never compromise your values. Stand tall, challenge her subtly, and let her see that you are not someone who is easily swayed. In a world full of men who will flatter her and hope she notices, be the man who makes her wonder if she's missing something by not noticing you sooner. It's the Stoic way of attracting a woman, not through cheap compliments, but through unwavering strength, integrity, and a quiet confidence that speaks volumes. Comment to remember: I am a man of unwavering strength and integrity. Let's discuss how embodying Stoic confidence can elevate your attraction game and help you build lasting, meaningful connections. 6. Make her earn your interest. To truly understand How to attract any woman? You must first master the art of withholding your interest. Make her earn it. This is not just a mere strategy. It's a powerful mindset shift that will change the game entirely. Most men fall into the trap of revealing their hand too soon. They give away their time, attention, and compliments without a second thought. They express their desires too early, without any standards or boundaries. The result? The mystery evaporates. The value disappears. You've already shown her you're invested in her before she's done anything to earn it. And here's the cold, hard truth. What comes too easily, what doesn't require effort, rarely garners respect. Women do not fall for the easy catch. They fall for what they must pursue, what they must climb to attain. This is the essence of attraction. When you give too much too soon, when you offer yourself without her having to put in any effort, you rob her of the opportunity to rise and earn your attention. And once you do that, once you erase the challenge, you reduce yourself to just another man in the crowd. Remember what Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, said: "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." To attract the woman you want, you must be unlike the men she encounters every day. Stand out, hold your ground, and make her earn your attention. When she sees that you have standards and are not easily won over, she will begin to see you as something rare, something worth pursuing. This is not a game. It's a principle rooted in human psychology. You're not just attracting her interest, you're making her respect you by showing that you value yourself highly. And here's where the Stoic approach comes into play. Control your desires and impulses. Practice restraint. Modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our emotions, our decisions, and let go of what we cannot. In this case, it means mastering the art of restraint and never being the man who offers everything up front. The act of withholding is not about playing games. It's about maintaining your power and your worth. A man who holds his value high becomes like a mountain. A woman has to rise up to meet him. This isn't just about attracting women, it's about cultivating respect. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. Confucius once said, "If you give too much, too quickly, you teach others that your attention and time are cheap. A woman will respect you more when she has to work for it. You're not just a man, you're a man of value, someone who stands firm in his standards. When you act with this Stoic mindset, you're telling her without words that you are someone who does not settle. You are someone who chooses only those who rise to meet your standards. This is how you will stand out, how you will attract any woman, even those who may not have initially shown interest. But remember, you must be unwavering in your commitment to this principle. Hold your attention back until she has earned it, and watch how differently she starts to look at you. The attraction will not come from what you give easily, but from what you make her earn. In the end, it's not just about winning her over, it's about maintaining your value, your power, and your place as someone who is not to be taken lightly. You control the narrative, you set the terms, you make her earn your interest, and when you do, you become a man that every woman wants, and one that no one can take for granted. This is the path to becoming the man you were always meant to be. 7. Leave before she gets comfortable. The most common mistake men make when trying to attract a woman is staying too long. Don't do it. Don't overstay your welcome or give too much of yourself too quickly. By doing so, you only weaken the intrigue and the attraction that originally drew her to you. You must understand that attraction is not created by constant presence. It's made in the absence, in the pauses, in the mystery that you leave behind. The more you give, the less she wants, and the more you lose the very thing that first sparked interest. It's about knowing when to leave. Leave before she gets comfortable. Attraction thrives in the gaps, the silences, the space you create between moments. It's like the law of contrast. Light is appreciated more in the dark. You see, the desire for something grows when it's scarce, when it's not always available at the snap of a finger. Many men make the fatal error of becoming overly available. They respond to texts and calls instantly. They drop everything at a moment's notice, thinking that their presence will prove their worth. They show up every time she reaches out, without letting her wonder if they might be busy or involved in something else. But here's the harsh truth. When she never has to chase you, she won't value your time. It becomes expected, even taken for granted. It loses its shine. She'll start to think you have no other options, no purpose, no life of your own. And that is not attractive. You must have your own world, your own boundaries. Let her see that you have things to do, that you are not always on standby, waiting for her. This creates intrigue. This creates mystery. Take a lesson from the ancient philosophers, like the Stoics, who understood the power of restraint. The Stoics believed in not overindulging, not chasing after fleeting pleasures, but in being deliberate, in being controlled. The great Marcus Aurelius himself once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means stop overthinking the situation. Stop trying to prove yourself. Be deliberate in your actions, your words, your time. Women appreciate a man who doesn't just give his time away freely. They value the man who makes them earn it, who knows his worth and doesn't chase after validation. This isn't a game. This is about playing the long game. The key is to stay true to yourself, to not bend at every whim of desire or urgency. Think about it. Attraction is a force that grows in absence, in patience, in the spaces where she wonders, where she feels a little curiosity. You must not be afraid of leaving her wanting more. She doesn't want a man who is always there. She wants a man who makes her think, makes her wonder. Leave her with a taste, not a full meal. The less you offer, the more she'll want. The trick is to know when to step back and when to lean in. Balance is key. You have to realize that attraction isn't something you can force or manufacture. It's something that happens naturally when you leave room for it to breathe. It's a dance of presence and absence, of push and pull. Don't make the mistake of becoming too available. Don't make her feel as if she can have all of you whenever she wants. You are not a vending machine. You are a man of value, of purpose. Respect your time and, in turn, she will begin to respect and desire it. Leave her wanting more, and ultimately she'll be drawn to the mystery that surrounds you. It's in that mystery that true attraction thrives. Remember the words of Stoic philosopher Seneca. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Don't waste your time trying to prove yourself. Don't waste your time being too available. Use your time wisely. Use it to build your own life, your own world, and let the attraction grow naturally. Now, I challenge you. How can you create more space and mystery in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can all become more intentional with our time and energy in the pursuit of attraction and self-mastery. If she never misses you, she'll never crave you. Don't stay out of fear. Understand the power of your absence. Giving more doesn't strengthen the bond, it trains her to take you for granted. When you're always around, she stops chasing and the spark fades. Know when to step back. End the conversation while it's still alive. Leave while she wants more, and let a text go unanswered long enough to remind her you have your own life. This isn't playing games. It's creating polarity. By stepping away, you remain a mystery, and desire grows. Men who overstay become predictable and forgettable. A man who leaves at the right moment stays on her mind, keeps her guessing, and stays rare. Value your time, and others will too. When she realizes your attention isn't guaranteed, she'll start to chase. The Stoic man knows walking away strengthens his presence. Don't apologize for your space. Walk away when you're no longer being felt. That's how you stay unforgettable. If you've been over-complimenting, texting too much, and seeking approval, stop. Chasing approval only leads to invisibility. You're not meant to be everyone's type. Rejection is a filter, removing those who don't align with your worth. Live by your principles, not by permission. Stop seeking validation. The man who walks away from what doesn't honor him becomes more powerful. Let her feel your absence. If your presence isn't appreciated, let her miss it. Let your silence speak for you. You are the standard. Now, it's your move.